Parents made a time capsule when I was 10 years old, and they gave it to me when I was 30. There was like a letter where I saw myself in so many years, and I actually did say these are the type of things I wanted in my life. I don't, obviously as a kid, I don't believe I knew what entrepreneurship was, but my father owned his own business, and I know it was something that I wanted to follow in his footsteps. Jason House, CEO of Iridium Sports Agency. Growing up, I think the best way I could describe myself was very active. My parents used to always have to set a time limit to when I can get out of bed. It used to be 7 a.m. because I used to always wake up around 4 or 5, excited to get going, watch cartoons, and play. So the first semester of law school, December 2006, is when Tito and Chuck fought for the second time. It was the first UFC fight I'd ever seen, and I was hooked, I was mesmerized, and at the time I just finished playing college baseball. I kind of missed the camaraderie of a team, so that's when I joined jiu-jitsu and started training with Jiva Santana and Colin Oyama.
Who was your first ever fighter?
LaRon Wilson.
And how do you go about convincing a fighter that you need to represent him? And do you go up to him and say hey, I know I've never done this before, but you need to trust me?
Funny story is, LaRon Wilson actually played college football with my strength coach in college. We all went to the University of Laverne where I played baseball. I told my strength coach what I wanted to do after law school, that I wasn't going to take the law firm job, that I was going to start my own sports agency and represent MMA fighters. He told me, hey, my college roommate LaRon, he's a heavyweight fighter in MMA, I can link you two up. LaRon, really trusting my coach's word, gave me a chance, and he was my first client.
Were your parents couldn't you do baseball or NFL? Were they sweet, let's do MMA?
My dad and mom were both really supportive. I think because they had seen so many times I'd have friends come over, we'd watch fights, all pitching $5 to buy the pay-per-view and order pizza. And I was actually interning at a sports agency at the time in law school, and the CEO of that company wasn't a good person for say, and so my father had told me, he's like, listen son, if you really want to do this, I'll loan you $2,000, move back home, and we'll form an LLC, and if you try this and it works, then hey, you're living your dream. And after 2 years, if it's not, you can always go back to that law firm, son. But if you don't try this now, I think you're going to regret it down the road. I graduated law school in 2009, which is one of the worst economic times our country has experienced in a long time. I knew no one was going to give me a loan to start a business, so I told my father, hey, I'll work 9 to 5 as an agent, and then 6 to 10 I'll be serving tables at Outback Steakhouse. I think I was the only attorney in America serving tables. And my father sent me a picture about a year ago at the Outback that I worked at. He took a picture of the bathroom because that's where I used to go hide to close deals when promoters would call me to book fights, and it makes me smile thinking how far we've come. In February of 2011, I was at church on a Sunday, and I told my father, hey man, I need to borrow $1,500. I can't pay the bills this month. I'm a little behind. At the time, I'd quit Outback. I thought I could do this on my own, and I couldn't. And it was really degrading because at the time, I couldn't take my girlfriend out to Valentine's dinner. That was on a Sunday. That next Monday, Sean emailed me, and I had been emailing Sean Shelby for about 6 months straight on Ruben Duran, a 135er. And he said, hey, what is Ruben Duran doing? And like a total dork, I said, waiting for your phone call, sir, because we were so anxious to get our call. And that was the game-changing moment. Ruben getting into the UFC, he fought Takei Mizugaki through a great fight. I think it showed the UFC that what we were doing at our agency was authentic, and we had good fighters, because that year alone, it went from Ruben to Eddie Yagan to Francisco Rivera to Ian McCall to Shane DeRosario to Bobby Green. I just felt like that was my breakout moment, and that's when I felt like, hey, I was on something. Building all these prospects on the regional scene, doing it the long way was paying off for us.